name is Kevin Carruthers. I'm the founder of Hillborn Crafted Spirits. Partially, the reason I chose to open a distillery is it's not just for the niche market or for the tourism or novelty of it, but it's more along the lines of the heritage and the history that really exemplifies what it is to be, from the Appalachian Mountain Trail or the train, the mountain ridge line, whatever you want to call it. Etowah's my hometown. I grew up here. It's been a passion of mine just to kind of see the town revitalized and booming again. I remember growing up, walking the streets here as a kid. You had just about every store building was full, and I just remember it was just how it felt to be walking into all the buildings. Everybody knew your name. You knew everybody's name, and most of that small town feeling is gone. It's dying from America. And being that I'm from here, I've got obviously have the passion and a little bit of bias to stay in this area. My product differs from a lot of the big box people, and such as Bean and Jack Daniels and a lot of the others. Just simply for the fact that we're doing a very small batch. It's more craft oriented, more of an artisan feel, I guess, if you want to classify it that. Anytime we run, we're producing less than 100 gallons of final product per run, where you have these big box people that are producing tens of thousands of gallons a day. The different steps and processes in building a still and how a still functions. Basically, it is a boiler pot. The easiest way to think of it is it's a giant pot on the stove. Pressure cooker that grandma used to can jellies and stuff with. You basically, after you take your mash product, and it can be from any type of grain, starchy product whatsoever, you'll get your fermentation and everything through that. Once all that's done, you take that mash or wash, whatever you want to call it, and you put it into your cooker pot. Obviously, you have to seal it up so that so all the vapor can be channeled into one direction. Your heat varies again depending on the alcohol product you're trying to produce, but basically ethanol is the drinkable or consumable alcohol that you produce, starts evaporating around 165 degrees up to around 185, 188. Anything hotter than that, you're carrying a lot of water molecules and other wash particulates with it. After it's fermented, you produce it. Once you're heating it up, you get into the comfort zone or into the evaporation zone for the alcohol. It's going to travel up a column. The column is where you're going to get a lot of the separation again from the other impurities in your wash. So you have to be very careful on your temperature range and how you're gathering those vapors and condensing them back down. If you don't dispose of the correct impurities, or if you don't dispose of the impurities correctly, I should say, you can cause more harm than good. But once the alcohol vapors travel up through the column, they're going to go into a condensing unit. Obviously, we don't have the condensing unit and everything established and set up on this unit right now. But what that does, it allows the alcohol vapors to condense back down to a liquid versus the vapor, and you're able to gather and capture from that point. This particular still that's sitting behind us, obviously still in construction. The final product, when this is finished, is going to be a whole lot prettier than it is now. But it actually will, this particular one is a 255 gallon pot. It will produce anywhere between 50 and 60 gallons of final product every time we fire the still up. Our whiskey will be marketed, obviously from the get-go, it's going to be in a standard 750 milliliter bottle or a fifth of whiskey. That's how we're going to be launching to start with. We do have our own specific design bottle. It will not be in the mason jars as everybody expects it to be. We are looking at nationwide distribution. We already have contacts in place to achieve nationwide distribution within just a couple of months of production. We will probably have to open a new location as we expand. Obviously, this location where we are now, here in Etowah, will always remain the figurehead and center point to the company. As demand grows, obviously this 255 gallon still is not going to be enough. to keep up with the demand and production that a nationwide market demands. So we will be expanding to a larger manufacturing facility as the demand deems it necessary. The whiskey market and what we're doing here will not be our end game. I mean, we're looking to touch a little bit of each one of the types of alcohols that the market demands right now, rums, tequilas, and so on.